Hi friends, my name is Amy and I am honored to bring you a Lectio Divina meditation this morning. I went camping this weekend, and as I was preparing for this meditation, I constantly was moving my chair to be more into the sunlight because it was warmer in the sunlight than it was in the shade. And as I was sitting there, I thought that was such a good metaphor for how we're constantly posturing ourselves to be in His presence. So I hope that through this meditation, you are able to posture yourself and be in the presence of Jesus. If no word comes to you, that's fine. Let's just sit and be in His presence and know that He is here with us. So let's get started. So if you could just find a comfortable seat, you could find your favorite place in your house or in your yard. Sitting up tall, getting a long spine. Maybe you want to lay down and listen to this meditation too. Whatever is comfortable to you, I want you to do that. And so once you're in that space and you've found a comfortable space or a comfortable seat, just draw your eyes closed. Allow your eyes to fall closed. And then from here, I just want you to take a couple of deep breaths. Clear away any of the clutter or the junk that comes to your mind. Maybe you've had a hard day and you're stressed. Can you let that go? Can you let all of your to-do lists, all of your thoughts, your emotions right now, can you let them all fall to the side? Place them at the foot of the cross and trust that Jesus will bring the important things back to you when we're finished. And just get quiet in your heart and in your mind. Receive a deep inhale. Bring the breath all the way into your belly. Let your belly expand like a balloon from the front into the back into the sides. And then open your mouth and exhale it out. Seal your lips and begin to take your inhales and exhales out of your nose. And then if you like, you can place your hands palms up as a gesture of receiving. You can fold your hands together. You can do whatever you want with your hands. We're going to do Lectio Divina, and I'm going to read the scripture 4 times through. I'm going to offer times of silence and then offer some questions for you to ponder. So this first time I read through, I want you to think what parts of the scripture are calling your attention. It could be a word, it could be a phrase, but just be on the lookout for the parts of the scripture that are calling out to your attention, and don't overanalyze it, just listen. But you are God's chosen treasure, priests who are kings, a spiritual nation set apart as God's devoted ones. He has called you out of darkness to experience His marvelous light. And now He claims you as His very own. He did this so that you would broadcast His glorious wonders throughout the world. What a wonderful scripture. Peter is telling us of our position and our possession. He's reminding you who you are and whose you are. So make note of any words or phrases that comforted you, startled or surprised you. Maybe there was something that made you feel uncomfortable. And just begin to become aware of that. Maybe ask the Lord if there's something more there. And as I read the passage again, this time I want you to reflect on your reaction to the first reading, on any words or phrases that popped out at you. And feel free to repeat out loud these words or phrases that struck you. But you are God's chosen treasure, priests who are kings, a spiritual nation set apart as God's devoted ones. He called you out of darkness to experience His marvelous light. And now He claims you as His very own. He did this so that you would broadcast His glorious wonders throughout the world. I want to remind you that there's no right or wrong way to react to this passage. So if you had something that made you feel uncomfortable or made you excited, there's something more there, and I challenge you to ask the Lord what that is, to reveal to your heart what He's trying to teach you. I want you to imagine your life and this world as if this passage was truly realized. If every person in the entire planet realized who they are and whose they were. So as I read this passage again, I want you to imagine as if the things in the text are things that you're praying for in your life and in the lives of others. But you are God's chosen treasure, priests who are kings, a spiritual nation set apart as God's devoted ones. He called you out of darkness to experience His marvelous light. And now He claims you as His very own. He did this so that you would broadcast His glorious wonders throughout the world. How does that make you feel when you begin to take your thought process on the scripture and you begin to widen your view? To not only include yourself and those around you, but to include the world. How does that change how you feel? In our final reading, I want you to focus on the word you in this passage. I want you to consider to what extent you feel included in this intended audience. To what extent do you feel like the you includes yourself? Or do you feel like the you in this passage is speaking to someone else? Another group of people. But you are God's chosen treasure, priests who are kings, a spiritual nation set apart as God's devoted ones. He called you out of darkness to experience His marvelous light. And now He claims you as His very own. He did this so that you would broadcast His glorious wonders throughout the world. As we begin to close, I want you to think about others who are reading this passage. Someone who's in a different context than your own. So it could be someone who lives in a different socioeconomic status, someone who lives in a completely different culture, or someone who speaks a different language than you. How does the knowledge of that change how you read this passage and draw comfort from it? Friends, Jesus has staked a claim on your life, and He's staked a claim on the lives of all those that have ever walked this earth, whether they know it or not. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for His own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies in Him who called you out of darkness into His marvelous light. You are God's people.